This video is for the corrections for homework number 6, animating with compound shapes. The assignment was to use 4 or more shape functions, but just one variable to animate something that looks like a recognizable object. If I'm animating, I know I need to use processing in active mode, so I'm going to say void setup and void draw. And I'm going to put my size function in setup, and I'm going to put my background function in draw. And then I'm going to use numbers as parameters rather than variables to make my object. And from there, I will substitute in algebraic expressions to represent the relationship of my shape functions on the screen. So I'm going to make a rocket ship that is starts at the bottom of the screen and travels vertically along the y-axis. So I'm first going to use no stroke, so there's no outline. And for the body of my rocket ship, I'm going to use a gray color. So if I use just one number parameter for fill, that is grayscale. So this is kind of a medium gray. Then I'm going to make a rectangle, and I want it centered. And since the rectangle takes the upper left corner as the x and y parameter, I'm going to say 225, so it's 25 pixels to the left of center, and then maybe 400 pixels down, and I'm going to make it 50 pixels wide and 100 pixels high. So to see what that looks like, there's the center of the screen here, and my rocket is 25 pixels to the left of center, and since it's 50 pixels wide, it's centered on 250. All right, now I need a triangle function to give it kind of like a pointed front nose area. This point, 225, 400, is the same point that I want to have as one of the vertices of my triangle, so I'll say 225, 400. Then the middle one is going to be 250 pixels for the x value, center of the screen, and then smaller than 400, so 375, so it's a little higher up. And then finally 275, so that other side of the rectangle, and again 400 pixels down. So if I play that, there you go. And so this is all the body. And then I'm going to give it a window. And then for yellow, 255, 255, 0 is yellow. Yep, it's true. If you mix red and green together, you get yellow. And then I'll make an ellipse at 250, so centered, 425, a little bit below the top of the body, and then make it, 30 by 30. And then I want some flames coming out of the bottom, obviously, because it's a rocket. Orange is 255, and then just not quite as much green. Maybe a little bit more than that, though. And then I'm going to make a triangle. And this is all going to be existing when I start off below the bottom of the output window, because the bottom of the rectangle is already at 500. So it's going to be, I'm going to use some of these numbers from the triangle up top. So I'm going to say 225 and then maybe 550 to make it a little bit taller than this triangle that's the front of the rocket. Then 250, and then this is right at 500, and then 275, 550 again. And we'll just have to wait to see if that works out, because when I play it, I won't be able to see it. The flames are below the bottom. Okay, and then finally, now my next step is I need to declare an integer variable. Since it's moving vertically, a good choice would be y, and I need to give y a starting value. And I want to give y a starting value of some number that I'm using as a y parameter in one of these shape functions. So I recommend picking the first one. I'm going to say y equals 400. Then I can go right ahead and sub in y. There's only one y parameter in the rectangle function. In the triangle function, on the other hand, there are 3 y parameters, the second, fourth, and sixth. So since this one is 400, I can just use y again because y is starting out at 400. 375, that means wherever the y value of this vertice of the triangle is, I want this vertice of the triangle to be 25 pixels higher up. So I need to say y minus 25 is the way I'd represent the location of this pixel with respect, or this vertice of the triangle with respect to this vertice of the triangle, 25 points above it. And then this one again, I can just use y. In the ellipse function, there's just one y parameter, and it's since it's 425, that's saying wherever this point of this rectangle is, I want this circle to be 25 pixels below it. So I'm going to say y plus 25. And then again, I've got another triangle here. So this is the bottom. You just have to imagine the bottom of the flames down here. I need to be at y plus 150 to be 150 pixels lower down. Y plus 100. And again, y plus 150. If I play it now, I haven't changed the value of y, so my rocket is not moving. So the very last step would to be write that algebraic equation, y, so that's the new value of y equals y, old value of y. Since it's moving up, I'm going to say minus, and I don't know, it's a rocket, let's have it move kind of fast, minus 5. Now if I play it, it'll redraw the location of that rocket each time, 5 pixels higher up, preserving the relationship between the vertical positions of each of those 4 shape functions.